What's the best sex advice you ever gotten from whom? Hi Reddit guys, subscribe now, or I will jump into the river. Sister-in-law told us to ditch the PJs and sleep naked. Frequency of X increased almost immediately. Would this work for me as a single male? Asking for a friend. Married man, also wanting to know if this will work. Asking for me. Practically married man here. Didn't work as well as I thought it would. In fact, I think she'd like to see less of me naked. Never decide for someone else that they are too good for you. Say it enough and they'll believe you. My girlfriend keeps saying this. It's obviously wrong, and it was cute at first. But eventually, the idea starts to seep in. It doesn't make either of us happier. If you're happy, and he's happy, then you're good. You can always try to improve yourself, but being not good enough does not exist. My ex kept saying I could do better. I mean, she is right, but someone always could do better. I was happy enough where I was with her. She ended up breaking up with me, but I knew it was doomed, because she kept saying this. You want to look for someone who shares your values. Realistically, if I had been doing that, I wouldn't have gotten with your mother. But anyway. My dad. Still together? Nope. If you look hungry, you're going to starve. Told to me by my older cousin when I started college. Brilliant phrasing. Underrated advice. Damn it, why is it when I have a girlfriend, suddenly all these girls show interest? Well, Chris, it's because now when you interact with these girls you interact and treat them as a person. Not just an object you wanna hump. I wish I'd realized this when I was a teenager. Go out to have fun guys, not to get laid. It is just a lot more attractive to a woman, instead of you being the 50th horny guy she talked to that day. That may be part of it, but actually if I recall correctly studies show that much of it is just the same reasoning that you use when you choose to go to a restaurant, because it has existing patrons, and avoid the empty restaurant next door. Women assume that a man who is with a woman must be okay. I'd always end up broken down on the highway. When I stood there trying to flag someone down, nobody stopped. But when I pushed my own car, other drivers would get out and push with me. If you want help, help yourself. People like to see that. Chris Rock. My sister told me to keep baby wipes next to the bed for the cleanup. It works so much better than Kleenex. Also, you're literally wiping up babies. Halves of babies anyway. Millions of halves of babies. Were there, Solomon? My dad is a union painter. He always used to tell a joke that goes, do you know why women love painters? Because we know it's 90% prep, 10% finishing with long smooth strokes. Works for both painting a room flawlessly and satisfying a woman. Reminds me of the term face like a painter's radio. When I would go out, my dad would tell me, behave. If you can't behave, be safe. If you can't be safe, name it after me. This is my daughter Garth. Party on Wayne. Never put your fingers somewhere you wouldn't put your face. My granddad. He was talking about power tools, but I find it applies elsewhere. You also use power tools during X. The reciprocating saw is the most effective. Dildo on a sawzall. Do you still get flashbacks from reading that too? Relax. Advice from a friend, and it has served me well. While you could take it as a reference to certain X acts, I mean it mainly as a reference to state of mind. There will be times where things don't work like they should, or they work too fast, or something embarrassing happens. It doesn't matter, just relax, don't worry, and move on. In the bedroom, you're both there to have a good time, so just enjoy it. Your cock shouldn't go near her till she's slick as a baby seal. Tormund Giantsbane. And then club it like it's 1899. My granddad when I was 12. If you can cook and make them laugh, you're already halfway up their leg. The rest's up to you. Don't frick it up. Sometimes you gonna bust in 2 pumps, but don't act ashamed and do your best to give you both a good time even if it happens. Also, comfort with a person makes your ex better. Both and dad. I don't know why he brought it up, was kinda random at the time. But both have held true. I've came early twice. Once I acted embarrassed, the other time I laughed it off and kept going by other means. The latter was a positive experience. The former was not. Making it fun is usually the answer to whatever happens in bed. I almost feel flattered when my boyfriend comes really fast. If it happened every single time I'd probably semicolon a little, but I think it's kinda cute. Exactly. You feel so powerful and exy, they just couldn't contain themselves. But when it's everything you start to feel kinda like a fleshlight. And honestly, why bother when the cleanup is gonna take me longer than the freaking? Ladies, never trust the man. Use a diaphragm. 70-year-old give no fricks biology teacher at a Catholic high school. Since our school's version of Ex-Ed was abstinence only, she snuck as much practical advice as possible into the reproductive system section of her class. Got away with it, too, because she was a little old lady. That's properly badass of her. At the time we all sorta made fun of her a little bit, but as I've grown up I've come to appreciate her badassness more and more. Bet you anything she's still alive, kicking ass somewhere. The more you worry about X, the less you'll get it. Some guy on Tumblr a few years ago. Don't you worry about X. Let me worry about blank. X. X. You're not looking at the big picture. I never got any in-person X advice, but Nina Hartley's video about how to go down on a girl? Solid freaking gold and the most useful instructional video ever. That woman knows what the hell she is doing when it comes to going down on a girl. Interesting fact, Nina Hartley and Tupac were frick buddies. Also, yes, her instructional vids are great. This video is fantastic. Before I watched it I honestly was kind of in the dark regarding technique, and since I've actually gotten compliments on my VAG skills. Be sure to add that to your LinkedIn. Make some noise FWB in college. Always make her pee after X, my Tinder hookup. Also I was instructed by her to keep going with the same intensity, same rhythm and same all that, even if it meant my arms, fingers, mouth, jaw, throat, neck muscles might give way, if it meant she could reach an orgasm. If a girl says keep doing that, then keep doing it. Don't change anything. Unfortunately I've found the fastest way to make a guy come is if I say oh don't stop, damn it. Always use a condom, otherwise you have an accident and have to name it. Thanks dad. Always better to go too soft and be asked for more than to go too hard and be asked for less. Or have to stop, because you've rammed the cervix. 0 out of 10 do not recommend. Haha yeah, my peanuts is totally large enough to reach a woman's cervix. What a great club this is that we're all in together, right guys? Haha yeah, they call me Rhino Peanuts at work, haha. Yeah, I remember the first time I touched a woman's cervix. It felt like a bag of sand. Her enjoying X means she will want you again. Focus on her now, she will please you more later. If she clean, always eat the box first and get her off. After that you're free to do anything really, you've already made it. Eat and finger to wear her out. Then go to town. And snuggle after. Always snuggle after. This guy gets it. There's more than one way to skin a cat. Long as you make sure she gets hers, she will usually work with you to get yours. That being said, I strongly do not recommend actually skinning her pussy. Weird story. I bought a Snoopy book for 10 cents at a swap meet, but the cover had been glued over a X advice book called How to Be an Erotic Man. I learned how to manipulate, and how to find, the clit and the G-spot. In other words, I learned how to eat vag from Snoopy. How would you rate the quality of the advice from this magnificently titled work? On a scale of pigpen to the little red-haired girl, I'm gonna say kite-eating tree. Blowjobs, no teeth, lots of slobber, make it look really fun, and do it for him regularly. College FWB. The second part is what distinguishes a blowjob from a blowjob that'll lay you out for an hour afterwards. Right here. The only time laying back and doing nothing is absolutely exhausting. My mantra is spit, enthusiasm, and don't be afraid to gag. I like to whisper that to myself during tests at school to stay on task. My grandpa told me that I should always date women with small hands so that when they hold my dong it would look big in their tiny hands. I knew a woman in high school whose hand and feet were so small, she could slip other people's shoes over her own. Apparently, she was very easy and almost always had a new boyfriend every time I saw her. Last I heard, she's in the Navy. She's no doubt surrounded by lots of seamen. Filthy buggers, they go from port to port. Every time they come, they produce a quart. Basically every guy I have ever dated has made this joke. Size wise, I regularly wear my 7-year-old socks and gloves because they are nearly indistinguishable from mine. I'm slightly over 5 feet tall. Practice first on bobcats till you get it right. My girlfriend's dad. I'm lost. I need a hint. Don't frick my daughter. It took me a few reads, but damn. Okay Reddit guys, subscribe now, or I will jump into the river.